it would be a Northern Ireland only backstop, and that would have been agreed and could have been passed in the House of Commons, because I'm very struck by the fact that there is a lot of Conservative MPs have suddenly woken up to what they consider the constitutional implications of the backstop. But most politicians in the United Kingdom pay little or no attention to Northern Ireland most of the time. So I think this is all down to the DUP. That is there would be rumblings, but I think that the reliance on the DUP is a very important part of the story. On a referendum in Northern Ireland, I think what we've got to really remember on Northern Ireland is this is a deeply divided society which has come through a very difficult period, that normalisation is very recent. It's only 20 years. And the danger of a referendum is that it would be politicised in a tribal way between the two communities. The Brexit vote already was politicised on a tribal basis. Over 80% of nationalists voted Remain. It was a majority of unionists voted Leave. So it really would bring to the fore that fundamental conflict that is still there. People think the Good Friday Agreement solved the Northern Ireland problem. It simply moved it to a non-violent phase. And we should also remember that last Saturday evening in Derry, there was a car bomb. And for the subsequent days, there's been a paramilitary activity of some kind, car hijacking or whatever, every single day. We should worry that the arrests for Saturday night were young men in their early 20s. And the value of the Good Friday Agreement was it stopped paramilitarism going through to the next generation. I'm not arguing, nor would I, that Brexit will return Northern Ireland to the heights of the troubles, but no one should be under any illusions of the danger. Also, if you look at the political geography of Northern Ireland, every single constituency north of the border is Sinn Féin controlled. That the DUP part of Northern Ireland is well back from the border. And I can tell you that people who live on the north and south of the border will not give their consent to any physical infrastructure. And that's extremely dangerous. And we can't go there. It really is. I mean, I understand that it might be for British MPs to have to grapple with this, but I find it profoundly shocking that 35% of Tory MPs still think it's exaggerated. The issue of the border is exaggerated. It's not. It was the lived experience of the island of Ireland. It was a low-grade civil war. And anything that endangers that is something that the EU should not consent to, but neither should the British, because the Good Friday Agreement is a wonderful achievement of the diplomacy and politics of the United Kingdom and Ireland. And I just find the absence of the seriousness of Northern Ireland. The DUP didn't want the Good Friday Agreement. They didn't sit in those negotiations. They opposed it. They opposed it in the referendum. And now they're the ones with the political power over that part of Ireland. It's just, again, as I said, it's an extraordinary confluence of events that have led us here, that the DUP is so important to the survival of a British government. And I know my 19th century Irish history extremely well. And I know the dynamics of those sorts of parliamentary relations for the two islands. 21st century, we should not be going back there in any way, shape or form.